It's 4:30 in the morning. I woken up, the diesel heater's shut down with an error. It's broken. Shut down with an error 08 code, which normally means flame out, flame extinguishment. Probably a fuel problem. I'm not going to get up now and sort it out. The van stays warm for a couple of hours after the heater's turned off, so I'll get up in the morning and we'll see what's wrong with it. Right, as you know, my heater failed in the night last night. I don't know if you can see that, with an error 08. Oh, it's a bit cold and windy today. Error 08 indicates the flame's gone out, which is normally a fuel problem. So I'm going to check that out now. The only other thing it could be is it really got windy last night, and the wind went directly into the exhaust and created a back pressure. That could have put it out. But I've got plenty of fuel. Over half a tank, which is about 8-9 litres in there. So we're going to investigate, see if the fuel is actually getting through. And my fuel line runs from the back of the tank there, all along, all the way down to here, and then through underneath to the diesel heater. And at the moment it's looking like the fuel line is full. Let's get under there, have a look at the pump. I don't know how much you can see. There's my fuel pump there. Which actually looks like it's full. The fuel line's full as well. So I'm hoping it was the wind. So what I'm going to do is reprime the pump and see if she works. Right, I don't know how well you can see that display. Doesn't show up too well in daylight. Right, so to prime the pump, you press OK and down at the same time, and the display displays H off, which is the pump. So you press up and the pump starts clicking and priming the fuel system. I can hear it clicking away. So we'll get that primed up. When it stops clicking, I'll try and fire it up and see if it goes again. But normally, if it's windy, like it was last night, I'll park so the wind is travelling the opposite way to the exhaust, because it can do that. And I'm hoping it's just that. The pump's ticking faster. I don't know if you can hear it. My pump's mounted outside, so it's a lot quieter. Yeah, but last night I was already tucked up in bed when the winds hit, and they weren't forecast. They were forecast between 15 and 20 miles an hour, and they were actually more like 50-60 miles an hour. It should be near finished its priming cycle. I'll probably get a bit of smoke because there'll be excess fuel inside the heater, because I think that will be enough. Right, that's off. We press OK and then start her up and see what happens. At the moment it sounds alright. Just gonna have a look, see what smoke we're getting. Oh, I can smell the diesel in it. There's a bit of white smoke appearing. I can certainly smell the excess diesel. Yeah, quite a bit of smoke. Is it wrong that I actually like that smell? The smoke's cleared. A little bit of popping and going. Right, we've got 1 bar appeared so far. Right, I'm going to leave it there, let it get going, see if it, and then come back to you. We're up to 2 bars of heat, 3 bars now. There is heat coming out of the heater. Up to 4 bars. It's getting warm. I wouldn't say it's as warm as it normally is. I'll probably run it on hot for a little while, just to clean out anything it got in there. Oh, it's getting nice and toasty now. 5 bars, 1 more bar and we're there. Just going to see if there's any smoke. No smoke. Nice and hot coming out of there. Fixed it. As you can see, it's running on full heat, all red bars. Now the fueling problem was, I don't know if you can see that, in the cap there's a little hole there. The cap is designed to breathe. And this rubber bung sits in that cap there. And there's a hole in this end, but there's no hole in the other end, so no air could breathe. So I don't know why, because it's never happened before. I undone the cap and there was a psss as the pressure equalised. And that was the fueling problem. The pump was having a job to get the fuel through. But now it's running fine. And I'll just run it on high for a little while. And the bearing seems to have quietened down. I mean, that's on full, that's not bad at all. So what I'm going to do is replace that cap without that bung. Make sure it's on correctly. Now hopefully the tank is breathing and we'll let the fuel through properly. Right, looking at this nipple, I suppose you call it a nipple, there is no hole going right through it. I've looked and looked, and if I pass that through into there, there's nothing in there, so I'm going to pierce it, make a hole and replace it. I don't know if that hole's going to be big enough though. What I might do is just trim the end off with a pair of scissors. Because obviously when the tank's full, I don't want to go around the bend and little bits of diesel come out. Right. Not sure if that'll do it. Just put my glasses on and check. The eyes aren't so good in my old age. It's still only a tiny hole there. Yeah, that will still close. I should have known about this problem because I remember fixing it on someone else's, but they never had this. There's a smaller 10 litre tank which has the blue cap. There we go. Don't know if you can see that, we've got a nice breather hole there. So I'm going to replace that, and that should cure the problem and still keep the tank in, complete. I realised what that was for. That's the joys of these Chinese diesel heaters, is you never get the right instructions. Now that nipple is, some people run the fuel line out the top of the tank through the cap, and that's the outlet for it there. You drill a hole and then that comes through there. And I think you're supposed to force the fuel line through there, so this is not designed to be in there if you're not running the fuel line. And there's nothing in the instructions about that. So the cap breathes through that hole and through that hole if there's no fuel line. I'm going to replace that anyway. Now it can breathe, which is easier said than done. And make sure that the air is getting through it. I can see clear through it. Let's give that a blow. Yep, air's coming through that. So I'll replace that now, and hopefully that will be the problem ended. Right, just running the heater up to full again to make sure it's getting the fuel. And there seems to be no problems there. Earlier on when I tried it, it would only go up to 3 bars where it wasn't getting the fuel. A lot more heat coming out there like it used to. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so it lets you know when I upload a new video, and I'll see you on the next one.